What is up, nerds and nerdettes? That was a dumb thing to say. There are no nerdettes. Alright. Hello there, Mikey Wise. Let's play some Monster Hunter. Let's hunt some monsters. Let's kill some things. Do the stuff.
This is gonna be fun!
Third live stream, you say? Well, welcome in. Thank you for coming. You have your... We know you have your options for streamers, and we're glad that you chose us today. Or however that phrase goes. Thoughts on Superman? I know you're mildly positive with Gunn and some issues. So what are your thoughts? I liked it. It wasn't his best work, but it was good. It was nothing that we haven't seen before, but it was good. Please see a psychologist. Ryan Gosling is not literally you. The hell you say? If it doesn't break $1 billion, you think Gunn and Stefan will continue holding the reins? I don't know anything about the business side of that. I don't know if they're expecting to break $1 billion. I don't know. All I can tell you is I thought his movie was pretty good. Tony Kim, good evening. It's not even going to come close to breaking $1 billion. I don't even know if there is their projection. But as I say, I don't know anything about anything when it comes to that. I would say that if a Spaceship Poet, welcome in. I would say that if something with James Gunn attached can't break $1 billion, they should just let him keep making movies for him, because I don't know what else would break $1 billion. It's a really high bar. In that theater, I was brought back to the 2000s and honestly thought it was as tight a script without seeing much holes in his choices. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought I didn't see any holes in the script. I saw a little bit of clutter. But I thought it was good. I had a good time. Only movie that broke $1 billion this year is Lilo and Stitch, so unless they just want to make movies for kids, did it really break $1 billion? Wow. I didn't know that. Lilo and Stitch, you say? Wouldn't have thought. Let's see. What should I do for the super chat goal? I'm gonna set it to... I can't believe Leo broke $1 billion. I can't believe it, but still. Oh, Bonanza might replace Persona 5 with the best game I've ever played in my life. I actually 100%ed it from playing it from beginning to end, straight through, doing everything there was possible to do in that game. And I am left wanting more. As I might just start it over and play it again. I don't know. It might be the #1. I know you're like, are you kidding me? A Donkey Kong game beats Persona? But it's really good. Holy fucking shit, that's a good game. What's been going on in my life lately? You know, lots of stuff. Not all good, but into every each life, a little rain must fall. Just doing well overall. Hanging in there. Doing my thing. I have been obsessively researching and learning about the Old Testament of all things. I never really had much interest in it, and then all of a sudden, I watched a couple of lectures, and it was more how that thing was constructed, and what everything actually means, and how that whole thing came to be was more interesting and more different than I ever really thought. It is kind of a collectathon, yeah. But it's also it's a collective. It's kind of like a cross between Super Mario Odyssey, Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, Sonic Unleashed, weirdly, just because I guess Donkey Kong kind of reminds me of the Werehog. I don't know. Oh, I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. I'm sorry I didn't become weirdly obsessed with this random-ass topic sooner. Ozark, you said. Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, there is a... did you see the teaser for the upcoming Vince Gilligan show? Yes, I did. Yes, I would say they're being frustratingly vague. That was a very disturbing trailer, and I don't know what to make of it, and I think that was the point. I'll tell you what, if any of you would like to, know anything about the Old Testament, which I'm sure you do, I can hear you all clamoring to go learn about it right now, you can watch an entire course for free by Dr. Richard Elliott Friedman, who is the world's best human. There are plenty of other Old Testament courses, like Christine Hayes does one, and she's really good, but Friedman is just... I love his teaching style. He's very human, he's very funny, but he knows when things are serious, and he knows his stuff. He literally wrote the book, Who Wrote the Bible? So, like, you know, he wrote the book on it all, and he's just amazing. I was telling my girlfriend earlier that between him and the other two, there are three human beings who have existed in this world through which I learned more than from anybody else. Because it's just the grand sum of whatever it is of everything that I know can be summed up in these three humans. One is Mortimer Adler, obviously. I've been singing his praises for almost 20 years. I still haven't changed my mind on that. He is one of the most underappreciated philosophers who ever lived, outside of the lay audience who he wrote for. So Mortimer Adler, Father George Coyne, who was the head of the Vatican Observatory for a hell of a long time, and did some excellent work in talking about science and theology, and how theology and science and religious people need to stop saying it is, and creationism is dumb, and young Earth creationism is even more dumb, and intelligent design doesn't work, and he makes a pretty damn convincing case. He didn't have to convince me, but I think he could go a long way in convincing others. And he's a damn good astronomer. So Mortimer Adler, Father George Coyne, and now Richard Elliott Friedman. I was telling my girlfriend earlier, we got a Christian, a Jew, and if Mortimer Adler had been a Muslim, that would have made the perfect joke, but he wasn't, that bastard. and now my joke will never work. So shame on him. Mortimer Adler wasn't in anything. I got a Christian, a Jew, and a guy. I tell a lie. He converted to Christianity at the end of his life, but most of his life he spent being secular. So there you go. Wasn't that fascinating? Didn't you all want to know that? Am I still getting fried to a crisp in California? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the winter. Shit, I lost my group because I was looking at the chat. On. Autopilot. I think my monster knows which way to go. No, it doesn't. Sorry, what were you saying? Yeah, you all don't sound as enthusiastic as I am, but you should be. You should enjoy it on as many levels as I do. I kid. You're very kind. You're trying to spare my goddamn feelings. Where the hell is everybody? I really got lost. Since you brought up theology, easy layup question. Oh boy. What have I done? Thoughts on pure... Okay, so... the PureFlix terrible fucking God's Not Dead and discount God's Not Dead BS that they shovel onto that fucking site is pure gold. This is Red Letter Media could not ask for. This is Top Dog's got nothing on that shit. The persecution complex and the mischaracterization of everything. Oh, okay, Brendan. I hope you enjoy your marathon. I feel like it just that first fuck damn God's Not Dead, where the philosophy teacher tells he doesn't teach any philosophy at all. He just tells all the students to go home and read Kant. And then all the kids are going to go home and read Kant, and they're going to be like, teacher, I didn't understand a damn word in this book. And he's going to be like, what? You didn't automatically know complicated philosophy before you got here? What? So he just writes on the board for them to go home and read Kant. But all he actually does in the lecture is tell them, okay, we've determined there's no God and everybody needs to sign things saying there isn't, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. And I'm just saying off the top of my head, that's really what they think professors do, isn't it? That's really what they think they do. I like Kevin Sorbo. I myself do not. I think he's very dishonest and disingenuous, and I think he's an absolute weirdo. You can like Hercules, I guess. So was Gunn Soup's movie like Returns, like I thought, or what? It was a little bit like Returns. It was a little bit like all of them, really. I liked his Superman, as I said earlier. I feel like there are only so many ways you could tell that story. But we've seen this movie already. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy where, you know, he could do whatever he wanted. This is Superman. There are certain things we expect from a Superman film, and he knows that. So I think that movie was good. I think he's going to do better on the second. Oh, shit. I was just happy Superman was moderately funny because I usually never find Gunn funny at all. I can't remember if I actually laughed at anything. I don't think I did. I'm with you. I'm not really big on Gunn's humor. I like Gunn when he isn't joking. He's proved he can do some really deep stuff. That Lois Lane was they beamed that character out of the comic and onto the screen. That is the most accurate Lois Lane that there has ever been in any medium outside of the comic. I wish you would go see him on PureFlix. What is he? Yeah, I don't know. So that would have been easier. I never really talked about my personal beliefs, and now I think everybody knows my personal beliefs by now. And I don't really want to make it about. I I don't know. Politics and religion are two things that I don't think are very useful to talk about on the internet. And even if I was just talking about how bad these are, I have to talk about how bad the theology is because it's awful. That's one of the things that makes it horrible. And so I don't think I could. I don't think I could adequately distance myself enough from that to get into a I'd have to go on to Forrest Valkai's channel and like think I'm on his side and say, well, you know, I'm a Christian, but try not to hold that against me. I hate Christians, and then and start a whole big thing. I don't. I do enjoy Mystery Science Theater 3000ing that whole thing in my personal time. My brother and I do that as a regular course of practice whenever we get together. Still not too pleased on these. Skimmed on these in F4, but nothing. Not liking these too much, really. Oh, what these are you referring to? Hey now, nothing beats my Margot. Yeah, no, Margot was good. I'll give you Margot. Matthew comes off as an anarcho 2012 era atheist, plus the like woke media for leftists, but isn't too intense on it at all. Don't hand me. I think it's really, really funny that people. I think like before I was upfront about the fact that I am a Catholic, I think most people would guess that I was an atheist. But I think that has more to do with what Christianity is in America today. When people hear Christian, from an American, they usually think evangelical Christian. They think literalist megachurch, possibly prosperity gospel. Oh, I failed. What Soups the number one film you saw in the theater? Oh, was Soups the number one film you saw in the theater since Rise of Skywalker? No, that would be shit. We really fucked that one up. That would be Dune. No, I'm sorry, Dune Part 2. Best movie so far this year was either Ballerina or F1. Haven't seen either of those. The only movie I've seen this year is Superman. Have you seen The Penguin Show? No, I'm not really interested in the shows. Not really interested in the shows. I hear the Naked Gun remake is really good, actually. Like a throwback without being a copy. It seemed pretty good, like a pretty good idea to me. What the hell is this number one crown I have? Is it just based on the amount of comments I make? I was wondering about that too. I'm seeing some people have a number 2 and a number 3. I don't know what those are. They are new to me. I have seen Zootopia. I only saw it once, and I remember liking it, but I don't really remember much more than that, to say. Fucking hate Seth MacFarlane, but he keeps showing that he understands these properties, that he apes their updates. I have to say I agree with that. I thought before Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I thought the Orville was more Star Trek than anything Star Trek that was on TV. And now if he did this Naked Gun thing, well, then yeah, I would agree. I don't really hate Seth MacFarlane. A lot of people are down on Family Guy. I thought it was a decently funny show for a little while, at least. How many more big 70s rockers are left? We lost many lately. Man, I was so upset when Ozzy died. Seriously. Somehow the Stones guys keep going on. Yeah, oh, Gene Simmons. Shut up. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Like Gene Simmons if you want. It's all good. We're all friends here. I mean, Seth hates Family Guy now, too, and has for decades. Really, is that right? Oh, I didn't know that. You know, for him being known so much for that show, I came to find out that he hasn't written very much on, he hasn't written very much for the show at all, really. I think he's only written, like, 2 episodes from what I could see. Check my math. I could be wrong. Am I still watching South Park? No, I kind of stopped. The Rolling Stones wheelchair tour joke from The Simpsons gets more seen every year. Yeah, you know what? They're pretty spry for old guys. They don't need a wheelchair yet. They may one day, but Mick Jagger's still doing whatever the fuck he's doing, you know, on his own 2 legs. Keith Richards is as much anti-drugs I am. But damn. Yeah. Keith, I follow him on Instagram, and he had when Ozzy died, that was a sobering moment for him. He kind of, you know, reflected back on all the drugs he did, and it's amazing that he's still alive. What do you think of Frozen 2, and do you still love the original Frozen? I haven't thought about the original Frozen in a good long time. I was pretty enthusiastic when it came out. It did not appear to have had as much staying power in my mind as I thought it did at the time. I thought Frozen 2 was abhorrent. If you had the opportunity to see Ozzy's last show, even knowing he can't really perform anymore, would you have gone for it? Well, Axl Rose cannot sing for shit. I mean, he's embarrassing himself every time he performs, and I'd go see Guns N' Roses. Yeah. I think there comes a point where it's like when Brian, man, I'll tell you, if there was one loss that we had that eclipsed Ozzy for me, it was Brian Wilson. A lot of you probably haven't heard of him, but you can thank him for most good music. And just innovation like you've never heard. We lost someone really, really special, and I was really broken up about it. What was I going with that? Oh yeah. Brian Wilson. My dad went to see him, and he couldn't perform anymore either. Not even just sitting at a piano. He couldn't sing anymore. And my dad said, you know, I know he can't sing. I don't care. We're not here for the music. We're here for him. And sometimes you can do both. Usually that's at their prime. But when you're seeing somebody for the last time, I think there's a shift in emphasis to you're there to support them. Yeah, Aerosmith's still around. They're never going to tour again. Ever. They were going to have a big farewell tour, and then Steven fucked his voice up, and then Steven got worse, and Joey Kramer, according to the band, cannot drum anymore. And Joey Kramer says, "Fuck that. I can still be a drummer," which isn't true.
I've got an announcement.
The band was like, you know, we love Joey and he was a founding member, but drumming is the most physical part. You know, it's not like playing the guitar or singing. You have to be, you know, physically able to do it, and he's just not anymore. And they're right. I went to your Instagram page not long after Wilson's passing was announced to see what your thoughts were. I couldn't capture it I didn't even know what to say for the next couple of days, and I said a couple of platitudes, but I'd have to stand up and give a 3-hour dissertation on what he contributed to everything. The only other loss I think that can even come close to his was Little Richard. But even Little Richard, he innovated a genre. Brian innovated innovation. It's not even close. Nothing's going to be that close. We're going to have to go through a whole bunch of generations before we get another one of him. Steven has his issues, but still going. Yeah. And Joe Perry's going to be putting stuff out until he kicks it. I don't know what Brad or Tom are doing. Now that I think about it, I actually don't. It kind of irrationally irritates me that Disney is dropping Aerosmith for the Rock and Roller Coaster. I wasn't aware there was a Rock and Roller Coaster or that Aerosmith was affiliated with Disney. One probably has the best drummer solo, I think. Oh, Metallica is still going, I guess, but they wrecked their reputation bad. Yeah, they sell out all over the place. No pun intended. I don't have a dog in the Metallica fight. I personally think that they did most of their creative work from the Black Album on, and everything before that was sort of derivative. And I'm in a huge minority on there, but Metallica fans, as I say, I'm not really a Metallica fan. I'm more rock than metal. But to my ear, the stuff they did on Load and Reload was really creative and really outside the box. And those are the ones that appear to have lost the fan base. So if you're looking for something they did on, if you're looking for something more like Ride the Lightning and you end up getting Load, then I understand. But for me personally, I thought that's when they really did something that wasn't just what they had been doing all along. High school for me was Justice for All. It was high school for my brother as well. Big deal. Don't remember before much. Yeah, for my brother it was Justice for All, and the Black Album. But Load and Reload really, really got him. That really hooked him. Oddly enough, I liked Ride the Lightning and the other one. I can't remember the damn thing. It's the one that has Battery on it. I liked those albums more than he did. I guess Megadeth guy and Axl is still going. Yeah, Axl's still going. He has very noticeable vocal cord damage. And I'm not kidding, he is embarrassing himself on stage, and he doesn't seem to care. But whatever, he's Axl Rose, he's a billionaire, he can do whatever he wants. And yeah, the Megadeth guy, fuck that guy. Fucking anti-vaxxer, conspiracy theory BS. And I liked him too. But this is like the Eric Clapton thing all over again. It's so hard to... It's so hard to be a fan of someone who is that... Yeah, Dave Mustaine. No, Dave Mustaine. You're close. Dave Mustaine. Fuck him. Stupid idiot. Stupid moron. And I liked Megadeth more than Metallica. Oh, they're doing fireworks. They didn't have a special song for this one, though. That's a damn shame. Who wants some? Come on, come and get some. You know, I could put together a pretty good Hades costume with this thing, and I don't know why I haven't yet. A lot of the left seems to hate Dylan even. You mean Bob Dylan? Well, I guess what other Dylan could you be talking about? I have to confess to you, I know nothing about Bob Dylan. Zero. Didn't even know Dylan had much political ideas. Yep, I don't know anything about anything when it comes to that artist. What do you think of the character Nier from Death Note? I don't have a very controversial opinion about that character. I think I'm pretty much in lockstep with the rest of the fans. I don't care for him. McBoom guy, how you doing? Distinctly recall you saying you don't care for Dylan. I don't. I mean, I don't know anything about him as an artist. The Bob Dylan's music just never did anything for me. That's probably explains why I don't know anything about him. to the extent that he was influential or that he innovated, or he's a legend, so obviously he was doing something right. I don't know what it is. Do you remember Glenn Benton from Decide? That's a bit dark zone. No, I can't say I do. Ready for another round of questions, ranging from reasonable to stupid. I look forward to them. The end was near. It was very mellow. Yeah, I got around to reading the manga, and it wasn't terribly out of step with the ending. Was a little different from what I remember, but never sat down and listened to an album of his. Or just going back what little you've randomly heard. Yes, I confess I never sat down and went through his catalog. That's true. And that's a fair point. Since I didn't really do much in the way of listening to Bob Dylan, I can't really rightly say that I don't care for him, because I haven't really gone that deep into it, except for the stuff that gets radio play. That's a fair point. I did like Superman. I think Ozzy had the good ending, really. A last tribute concert. Yeah, that was so, he just... By the way, this is an interesting thing that I learned. So Axl Rose met Ozzy at the farewell tour, and that was the first time those two had ever met. Now, when you have the rock and roll clout and capital of Axl Rose, how do you never meet Ozzy Osbourne? Especially because Slash has collaborated with Ozzy many times. And I know that Slash and Axl had not been on speaking terms for a long time, but they have for the last 10 years. He never met Ozzy. That's so weird to me. Would I watch a movie about the Question? Oh, fuck yes! Fuck yes, please make a Question movie. That weirdo, that'd be a great... I think they could make a great movie about the Question. Hell yeah, I wholeheartedly endorse that idea. What do you do in California for fun? Theme parks? The beach? I'm not a theme park or a beach guy. I'm an indoor person no matter where I am. So what I do for fun in California is pretty much what I would do for fun anywhere, which is mostly this. Not streaming, just playing video games. Do you agree with me that John Cusack would be a perfect Question? I think that could be a very, very good casting choice. Yes. I don't know if you know this, but in the Justice League cartoon series, the Question was voiced by Jeffrey Combs. And I think Jeffrey did a really, really good job voicing him. And I don't see why he couldn't in a movie, because we don't see the Question's face. He could just be the voice, and an actor could play the Question. So that also was an idea. But if they're going to get a guy to play him, yes, I think John Cusack would be a fine choice. I love Jeffrey Combs, too. I don't want to really get involved in a mission because then I can't read the chat, but I feel like the viewers want to watch me do things. I'll just sit down and look at the nice fireworks. What do I think of Los Angeles or San Francisco? I love San Francisco. I have been there many times and done many things in San Francisco. It's a great place depending on the area. It's definitely a culture of its own, but I love it. I don't have any opinion on Los Angeles because I have never been. Do I agree with any of his conspiracy? The Question, you mean? He's got a million of them. Personal question, but you said back in a while ago, still an ace? Yep, still an ace. Still don't do the icky sex with anyone. Unlikely to change, but, you know, anything's possible. I think there's a way to... Oh, yeah. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! Dealing with women over time lately. Oi. Dealing with women over time lately. Not sure what to make of that statement. You span time together. Why can't Snowden be president? Oh, there's a name I haven't thought about in a long time. Once again, I don't do politics. What's Stan and Stan been up to? Oh, same old, hanging out, being a dad, streaming occasionally. A toast. Totally random question since San Francisco's brought up. Have you ever seen the show Monk? Yes, it was the show that didn't end. I liked it, but holy shit. That thing had like 9 billion seasons, and it all kind of ran together for me towards the end. But I did like it, yes. If you had to choose, would you be more comfortable killing someone with a gun or a Green Lantern ring? Oh, if I had to choose, I have to kill someone. Would I be more comfortable? I'd be more comfortable killing with the Green Lantern ring, because then I could kill him in whatever humane way I wanted to. And I don't know, I can shoot a gun, but I don't know how to do it in a way they're gonna die, like, quick. So I'd choose the Green Lantern ring. Since this is the year of, I didn't expect that to be good in movies, what was the most surprising film of the year? Well, I've only seen one, so I can't really say. I wasn't really that surprised about Superman. I thought it was going to be decent, at most. Who was my favorite Green Lantern? Oh, I don't know. I only know 2 of them well. Probably Jon Stewart. Because we already hit the I think we have enough fly by the seat of your pants wisecracking superheroes like Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan rules, but I'm going to say Jon Stewart. This year's been mediocre at best yet again. The last one I liked was Oppenheimer. Still, yeah, I still have to. I try to explain to people I don't really watch movies that much anymore. Sorry. I like Fantastic Four. Can genuinely be a standalone movie if you're worried about the MCU baggage. It looked like it was going to be a fun time. I like the retro future look. I might check that out when it goes to streaming. Watch more movies. I will try. Do you miss the old that guy with the glasses days? Sort of. I have fond memories of them. No problem. The better movies are like Strange, Darling, smaller ones now. I'm sure that's true. Glug, glug, glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. A toast. Old that guy with the glasses could get pretty cringe. The crossovers are peak early 2010s. LOL random humor. Yeah, well, there was a place for that at the time. I think people have rightly moved past it. I moved past it. I got bored with it. I was never really big on the crossovers anyway. I liked Doug at the time. But that's me. I'm gonna dance a jig. Whoops. Blam. Yeah, my Palico's supposed to be dancing with me. Oh, he is. I'll make it closer. There we go. Spoonie and all that. And Mars Girl and the Hell from CA Blood. Not much good came out of it. I didn't watch any of them. I only watched Doug. I know Doug has a whole team in one studio. Just him, his brother, and a small handful of actors. He seems to like it better. Yeah, the Doug has said a couple of times that they tried to get too big too fast and they included too many people, and it's better to have a smaller team where you don't risk the whole thing getting out of hand. And that's probably true. I can respect that. Spoonie's arc was pretty tragic. I don't know anything about them. Yeah, outside of Doug, I know nothing. Frankie was trying to get me to watch, what was it? Kick-Assia. And I watched a little bit of it, and I'm like, who are these people? Obviously, I recognize Angry Joe, because he was one of the big ones to come out. I didn't even know he was from that guy with the glasses. But I'm like, who the hell are the rest of these people? Can you decipher this sentence for me? Let me give it a try. Have fun if giving out consultation provides an elevating medium to talk to small talk. No, I cannot. Doug's okay. I got tired of his style, though. Better others. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I did too. I got tired of his style. I got tired of James' style. I got tired of my style. I just got tired of the early, the late 2000s, early 2010s. I think everything's just kind of moved beyond that. Bipolar 2, poverty, Twitter freakouts, car crashes, not happy stuff with Spoon. Oh, that's a damn shame. He got medicated, basically a shell, and he ended up about the best off. Oh, that's really sad. It was a bit in your Red Cow video that made me laugh. It was when you said that you'd get on with Doug if you were to meet him. Dan Olson, you would make fun of killing yourself. I shouldn't have said that. I've never met Dan Olson. He could be a great guy for all I know. I'm not what I'm picking up, but I just thought the whole thing with his stupid video about Doug was just, oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know. But I'm judging from a distance. Who knows? He's probably a nice guy. How do I feel about trains? I support them. I'd actually see a couple Dan Olson videos before that, and I thought to myself, man, this guy's the opposite of Dan in every way. You mean the opposite of me? Yeah, mean-spirited. Yes, it's mean-spirited and just... Who cares? Like... So he has this weird obsession with personal growth. He accused Doug of not experiencing personal growth and James Rolfe of experiencing not personal growth because one of them didn't like The Wall and the other one had the same idea for a couple of movies they made. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you weirdo? I should not say anything about people that I don't know. His videos are mega pretentious, though. Every other scene in his James Rolfe video was a different artsy format just for the hell of it. Yeah, that's fine. The James Rolfe video, that was another, like... I don't know. I'm not a fan of his work, I'll say that. He does not appear to be a person that I would get on with in real life, but who the fuck cares? Not everybody gets along with everybody. Dan Olson's fine. Matthew was nice about Simba and Anakin Kid. I don't think he was. Do you have any regret from the classic CM days you haven't talked about? For instance, do you not like when you used to say the... I don't like when I said the R. But you know, it takes a little while when cultural norms change. Groucho Marx talked about this. It was at this time where, though not apologizing. Well, I mean, I do apologize if I offended anybody, but it's getting back to norms that it's okay. Well, that's probably not good. That's probably not good. But look, so Groucho Marx was, what was he on, Dick Cavett? I don't remember. He was doing an interview, I think it was on Dick Cavett, and it was around the time that they were going to stop, you know, society as a whole had said, you know, we probably shouldn't do minstrel shows anymore. That's, you know, blackface. And I think that's true. I think we shouldn't be doing minstrel shows anymore. And the conservative element at the time was like, oh, yeah, minstrel shows are fine. We don't mean it in a bad way. If you're taking it wrong, then you have the problem. And Groucho Marx was asked, like, what do you think of minstrel shows going away? I think they thought he was going to agree with them. And Groucho said, you know, I like minstrel shows, but I like them because I grew up with them. But, you know, times are changing now. We're seeing things in a different way now. We're listening to people that we didn't listen to in the past. People are starting to talk about things who couldn't talk about things in the past, and I think they should go away. And that's kind of where I am with the whole R word. Without the minstrel thing, we wouldn't have Blazing Saddles, because as we all know, Blazing Saddle, and this is not directed at you. This is the every time a conversation like this happens, Blazing Saddles comes up. That's what this is directed at. As we all know, Blazing Saddles is the single most important film that has ever been made in the history of film, and it's much, much more important than getting away from racism and marginalized groups and such. I don't understand that argument. It's one fucking movie. It wasn't even Mel Brooks' best movie. I'll sacrifice Blazing Saddles if it means that, you know, you're not hurting me. It made fun of everyone. Oh, well then never mind. I don't know. This isn't politics, is it? This is just human stuff. Yeah, Mel Brooks is 99. The fucker lived a long time. Who is my favorite superhero now? Ooh. It's a toss-up between Batman and Superman. Superman might actually be edging it out. Have I seen Attack on Titan? I've seen a little bit of it. Thing about Blazing Saddles, it was mocking the whole behavior. These are people of the land, the common, you know, morons. Yeah, that's true. But it also deliberately used the N-word, and I mean, I'm not against most of what was in Blazing Saddles. Most of what was in Blazing Saddles was written by frickin' Richard Pryor. And however I don't mean racism's okay when a particular race does it. But if you know Richard Pryor's act, you know what you're getting into when you go into Blazing Saddles. It's my favorite super villain, Lex Luthor. And if he counts as a super villain, he's not really, he's a villain. He is the world's most evil man, whose every waking thought is just pure envy and hate and malevolence, and it's just evil incarnate. I think the only fictional character I have ever witnessed that might rival him in terms of evil is Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Fair. The line of commentary and satire and doing the thing is thin. Yeah, I mean, you have to. So I would. Oh, Pryor and Murphy's 80s use N-word movie. Oh no, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we can argue about you know, when it is and is not appropriate to, you know, do that kind of thing for the sake of comedy. It's not. This isn't so much a thing about Blazing Saddles. I like the movie well enough, but everybody brings up Blazing Saddles when these kinds of questions come up, we wouldn't have Blazing Saddles. So the fuck what? Blazing Saddles is not the issue here. Not even Joker. No, Joker is not evil. He's chaotic. You don't understand. Lex Luthor would set babies on fire just to see something good be destroyed. The reason he hates Superman, the reason Batman, actually Joker doesn't hate Batman. The reason villains hate Batman is because Batman stops them from committing crimes. The reason Lex Luthor hates Superman is because Superman is good. He's pure evil. I love him. And that they nailed Lex Luthor in that movie. That was the most comic book accurate Lex Luthor we've had, and it's the most comic book accurate Lois Lane we've had. Joker's chaotic evil, where Luthor is lawful evil. Luthor is I take your point. You're right, but I'm going to be pedantic here. Luthor is evil. He exists outside of those categories. He's at least an evil. He's Luthor evil. Donkey Kong Bonanza is terrific. Donkey Kong Bonanza might have replaced Persona 5 as the best video game I have ever played in my life up to this point. I 100%ed all of it straight through to the end. I got all the bananas. I got all the music things. I got all the fossils. I got the ending. I got the true ending, and I got the true ending. I devoured that game. And I might play it again. I don't think Luthor is lawful evil, neutral evil at best. I just think I can see a case being made either way. Lawful evil, neutral evil, sure. I think Lex Luthor is a category of evil all his own. He is malevolent in a way I have never seen, again, with the exception of maybe Dio. Definitely stream material if you do. Unfortunately, I can't stream anything from the Switch 2 because I don't have a capture card, but I would have. Meanwhile, me, an Amazon shopper, Switch 2 less. But Lex genuinely believes in humanity and sees Superman as a threat to our progress. Is that evil? I don't think Lex believes in humanity. I think Lex sees humanity as something that he can he will step on your face. Even the people who he keeps close. Lex Luthor, name one of Lex Luthor's friends. The Joker has Harley. Two-Face Harvey Dent was Bruce Wayne's friend before what happened to him. Lex Luthor doesn't know how to love anything. He has nothing but just contempt and seething hatred for everything but himself. Have you read Lex Luthor, Man of Steel? I don't think so. I defy you on Mercy Graves. No, he doesn't. He keeps Mercy Graves around because Mercy Graves can be a bodyguard and somebody to fetch him his coffee, and maybe give him a handy when he's had a bad day. I have not read all of the DC material cover to cover. Maybe there's something I'm leaving out. I have yet to encounter anything that makes me believe that he actually cares about me. Wait, Mercy Graves was from the animated show, wasn't she? Was she even in the comics? I can't keep this stuff straight. All I know is whenever I've seen the Mercy in the vicinity of Lex, I never got the impression that he cared about her at all. Humanity is his excuse for his own behavior, like Kingpin, Daredevil Season 1. Created for the show. Okay, that's what I thought, yeah. Did they incorporate her into the comics eventually? Eisenberg, Luthor, no. Try the chaotic thing, but no. Yeah, I thought the actor from the Richard Donner films, he did an interpretation of that character, but he basically made his own. I think the best Lex Luthor, if we're going by the comic book created character, if you don't count the one in the animated series, which was better, then this one in the movie has been the best. Gene Hackman, yeah. Is Invincible the only show you've watched recently? Yeah, I forgot about it, too. I forgot to go back to it. Did you see Bombshell Luthor? Oh, did you see the Bombshell Luthor had in Superman and Lois? I did not watch Superman and Lois. Maybe I should have. Because they kind of incorporated her. Okay. They put her in one of... Did they put her in one of the movies? I feel like she was incorporated into something outside of the comic. What was a chaotic Lex thing done right? Yeah. Spacey was a decent Luthor in theory, but I don't know. I believe he was fine. He was fine. He did a good job. He didn't do a great job. This guy did a great job. She has a nothing role in Batman. That's what I remember. Yes, she was the one who figured out the thing with the bullet or something. Yeah, what a waste. Okay, so the memories that I have of Mercy Graves stem entirely from the series. Okay, so I can confidently say I don't think Lex Luthor gave a fuck about it. I don't think Lex Luthor in any incarnation that I've seen gives a fuck about anything. That's why he gets along with and relates so well to Brainiac, because he wants to be Brainiac. He wants to be the only one that has everything. Don't get me started on Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Actually met Nick Holt earlier this year. Really? That's awesome. Like, there are certain things in 2025 Superman that makes Eisenberg Lux look sane, but Holt does those things so well. Yeah, because he wasn't just a weirdo like his was. Everybody characterizes Lex Luthor as being all brain, but if you think about it, he's one of the most emotional characters in the whole of DC history. He only has one emotion: hate. He doesn't. If he was intellectual, he would just be a philanthropic astronomer or a theoretical physicist. But no, he's a hateful guy with money and just wants to destroy. I know someone intends Snyder Bros. They think MOS BBS are better than Reeve 1 and 2. It's painful. Look, they can feel how they like. I would say, for whatever it's worth, I think Man of Steel and Batman v Superman have the reputations they have for a reason. But if somebody likes them, if they think they're underrated, or if they think they're not, if they're, rated exactly the right amount and people try to put, whatever, they can think whatever they want. That's really cool. That's really cool that he's a nice guy. I had never heard of him. And he did a great job. In the President Lex stuff, Lex's president literally shoots missiles at his ex's house, and in other comics he stole 40K. I kind of remember the missile thing. I read a little bit about when Lex became president. I remember that he either sold off LexCorp to his family or he gave it to the successor. And I remember thinking when Trump became president, wow, he did a worse job at this than Lex Luthor did. People can like what they like. I just hate when they try to push or strike up logical arguments. Well, that's the thing. That's why I don't think that talking about things like that on the internet are fruitful. All you're going to get is an argument, and you'll lock yourself into an argument until you get tired of it, and then you leave it, and then what have you gained? Pedro Pascal is going to play Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz reboot? That's funny. I've never seen Pedro Pascal in anything, and I am so sick of looking at it. Maybe we should revisit President Lex. I thought President Lex was one of the best ideas they ever had. What is Superman gonna do? Is he gonna fight against the duly elected leader of the free world? He couldn't win. That was a great idea. I think they should reproduce that. I think they should put that in the movies. I think we need to see Brainiac in a fucking movie for once. Ah, God, I hope he's the villain in the second one. So yeah, Lex was always at least a little crazy, but Eisenberg kind of went too zany about it. Well, it was so yeah. I completely agree. Eisenberg. I give him. I think I said this in the review I did. I think I give him credit for not copying other people's interpretation of Lex Luthor, but the character he was playing, it was just weird. The reason he was against Superman didn't make any sense. They had him monologue about why he didn't want Superman around, and it made no sense at all. This most recent Lex Luthor, he said, "No, I don't want to give any spoilers. I did all this I did all this shit just so I can kill you because I hate you." Oh my God! Oh, it was great. What do you think of the portrayal of Jimmy? Jimmy Olsen. Fine. I've never really noticed Jimmy Olsen in the comics all that much. So, I didn't really have any expectations for him. He was alright. I thought the whole thing between him and the lady was a little weird. I also saw Pedro in person once. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, the Martha thing was something else. Pedro's a decent actor. He's just way too overexposed. Yeah, no, that's nothing against him. I was joking. That was my way of saying, God damn, he's everywhere. I mean that though. I've never seen him in anything, and I feel like I can't stop seeing him. Pedro's not bad, but I don't get why he's all over. People love him, and when people love somebody, they're gonna get cast. Jimmy E's stuff was very James Gunny. Yeah, I agree. That was where you could definitely see the Gunn DNA. So on the one hand, if the fate of the world is at stake, or the fate of Superman is at stake, I'll get to your comment about Jor in just a minute, because I do have thoughts. Yeah, so when the fate of the world's at stake, the fate of Superman's at stake, when the stakes are that high, I would probably use somebody too, but he's using this woman. And this woman is, not a bad person. She genuinely seems to have affection for him. What was that takeaway supposed to be? What? That was part of the movie that I kind of didn't get. So, they changed Jor-El in this film. Spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't want to be spoiled, but it seems to me like everybody in here has seen the movie, so if you haven't, plug your ears, shove caterpillars in them, whatever. So, when the Jor thing happened, and it was his mother, so I can never remember the mother's name. So when that happened, when that reveal came to be, I thought there was a misunderstanding. Somebody translated this wrong. I knew they didn't manipulate the thing. I thought maybe our translators just didn't do a good job. Now, it said Heron, that actually means, something else. Conquer really meant, there's two Kryptonian words. Lara, thank you. There's two Kryptonian words, and they mean different things, and this one actually meant that. No. They actually sent him there to take over the world and to repopulate Krypton. I don't... It's not a Lex plot. Yeah. I don't recall this ever being in the actual source material. This appears to be an idea from whole cloth, and that's fine. But it really... That's also a Smallville plot point. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. I'm not totally against that idea. It's different, but it's fine. The Kal-El has... a affinity for his birth parents. Kind of like Harry Potter. He didn't know them. He has a version of them in his mind. And then he also loves his human parents. This one was trying to tell the story of you're not a product of where you're born, you're a product of where you're from. So it worked fine for the story, but man, that's really different. It's really that's characterizing Jorah in a way that I've never seen. So we'll have to see where it goes. I'm basically fine with it. Ma and Pa Kent are so wholesome too in this. Yeah, they did great. Do you think Zachary Quinto could be a good General Zod? Sure. Sure. Seems cheap to me. I mean, they are significantly changing a kind of vital character, in a sense, for the sake of one plot point. So I sort of thought about that, too. I think it works fine for this film. They might have an issue when they go forward. Has Quinto done anything since Beyond? I'm sure he has, I'm not familiar with it. I thought he did extremely well because it doesn't totally denounce Krypton. There wasn't a long-term length of angst. It was real feeling to me. I agree. I thought it worked fine for this film. He has made the decision that this is really what's going on. This is permanent, so he can't do anything else with this. Unless in another film he does want to say that it was a mistranslation. Whatever. I don't think he will, though. So, I hope he's happy with this, because he's stuck with it. Have I talked enough tonight? You love Brainiac. Who would you cast to voice or play him? I want Lance Hendrickson. You'll have to let me know who that is. I wish I could go back in time and kidnap young Patrick Stewart to play Brainiac. I think he would play a great Brainiac. Outside of that, who would play a good Brainiac today? I can see Tom Hardy. Doing a really good Brainiac. Plus, he explained that two people having those views doesn't mean all of Krypton thinks that way 100%. Yes. I thought a lot of that really worked. Bishop from Aliens. Haven't seen Aliens in a long time. Somebody Jack stabbed and fault. Well, that's it's Tom Hardy. I actually think Tom Hardy would play a really good Brainiac. Gotta be better than Bane. Yes, the android. He would be a little old now, wouldn't he? But I guess he you could CG. They're gonna have to CG a lot of Brainiac. You could just do the voice. Yeah. Oh, there is a song. Oh. Kick-ass. No, I never watched Smallville. I didn't become a DC fan until 2015. And by then, Smallville was just sort of on the way outs anyway, if it wasn't off the air already. Benedict Cumberbatch. That's a good idea. No, that's not too easy. That's good casting. I can totally see that. My pick is still Hardy, but yeah. Hardy hasn't been in that much lately. Kind of went down that Venom trap. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, well, I was not a fan of his interpretation of Bane. It's hard to get vocal inflection from a comic, but I don't envision Bane sounded like a Muppet. I envision him sounding like a Lucha Libre wrestler. A Russian Lucha Libre wrestler that doesn't exist. I envision him sounding like a big, burly Russian. Benedict should have been Thawed. Oh, Thrawn. That ship has sailed. So Brainiac is the next best thing. I'll be happy if he's... Oh, just the 2025 Superman show vomit? I don't think so. Batista's probably done with superhero films. Oh. He did a great job as the Beast Raban. Man, he fucking killed it. I don't think Batista would be a particularly good Bane. No, I don't see him as Bane. It has to be someone who can really, really, really play stoic and subdued. But then maybe have the occasional outburst. And I don't see Batista doing that. Yeah, something comes out of Superman. I was going to say there's something kind of like that, but not really. I did see James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I thought it was fine. I didn't really love or hate it. Yes, I said I hated Cumberbatch, and yes, I've changed my mind. Benedict Cumberbatch is a good actor. He's significantly improved. Or maybe he's just gotten the right roles. Or what about a jacked up Javier Bardem? I cannot say I know who that is. Alright, guys. I think that about does it for me. I've loved talking with you. Haven't done this in a while, so I just wanted to come on and say hi. Stream of consciousness, blah, blah, blah. Richard Elliott Friedman, Superman, something, Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange is when I noticed that either he had just gotten the wrong roles this whole time, or he'd really improved. Probably the former. Oh, yeah, no, that's an idea. Yeah, I can see that. Alright, guys, yeah, you might see me in a month, and we'll see. Well, I'll see y'all whenever the hell I feel like it again. In the meantime, you all have a great night.